Hi everyone, you're welcome to my channel. This is Emma Does Ties. Thank you for clicking on this video. In today's video, we'll be learning how to make this cute bustier crop top. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe and join this amazing sewing family. This top is beginners friendly and so easy to make. This is the back of the top, as you can see. So without further delay, let's get right into the video. These are the materials I'm going to be making use of to make the top. I have my Ankara fabrics of 1 yard. 1 yard is enough. I have my tape roll, I have my marker, I have my rulers, and I have my brown paper. I'll be drafting the pattern on the brown paper first before cutting it out on the actual fabrics. My brown paper is already on fold and I've measured out my shoulder line, my breast point, my waistline, and the full length of my top. My breast point measurement from my shoulder line is 10 inches and I've already ruled a straight line across. Then I'll move down to my waistline, which is 15 inches. Then also the full length of my top is 22 inches. So guys, if you want to make yours as a crop top, you will stop at the waistline, but I decided to make mine as a top. So guys, the next thing I will do now is to mark out my shoulder measurement, which is 6.5, and when I'm done doing that, I'll go ahead and mark out my chest line measurement. And guys, we have a standard formula for marking that out. You divide your bust measurement divided by 6, then you add 1.5 to whatever it is that you get. Mine is 6.5. I'll mark out 6.5 inches and rule a straight line across the point, and that will be my chest line. So now I'll connect my chest line to my shoulder. So I'll go ahead to write chest line on this new line. For my neckline, I'll go in by 3 inches, and for the depth of my neckline, I'll also go down by 3 inches. So I'm using 3 inches by 3 inches for my neckline. I'll be making use of my cuff rule to make a cuff to connect the 2 points together. For my shoulder slope, I'll go down by 1 inch here and connect it to my neckline to form my shoulder slope. So now for my armhole, I'll place my tape rule on my shoulder slope to my chest line. I'll measure it and I'll divide it by 2. Whatever it is that I get there, I'll make a mark at the midpoint. Then from that midpoint, I will go in by 1/2 inch. I will then move to my chest line and mark out my bust measurement divided by 4, which is 8.5 inches. I'll measure 8.5 inches and make a point at the exact place. So now I'll make use of my cuff rule to connect the points together. So right now guys, the next thing I'm doing is to mark out my nipple to nipple measurements on my breast point and my waistline. My nipple to nipple measurement is 3.5, and I've gone ahead to mark it out on my breast point, and I'm marking it out now on my waistline. I'll also go ahead and extend my chest line so as to be able to mark out my nipple to nipple measurements, which is 3.5 inches. So after marking it out, I'll make use of my ruler to connect it together on my chest line, my breast point, and my waistline. So right now guys, I'll place my tape rule on my shoulder slope and I'll divide it by 2. Anything that I get there, I'll make a point on the exact place. So after that, I'll go to my chest line and go in by 1 inch. So when I'm done with that, I'll use my straight ruler to connect the 2 points together, as you can see me do in this video. So the next thing we are doing now is to tighten our overbust. If you are making a top or a gown, you can tighten both your overbust and your underbust. But because of the top you're making right now, we are going to be tightening only the overbust, and I'm going to be going in by 0.5 inches on both sides. I'll mark out 0.5 inches on both sides and I'll rule my darts on those points. So now I'll be taking my full body's measurements. On my chest line, I'll go ahead and mark out my bust measurements divided by 4. Then I'll go ahead and add 1 inch for ease. I'll mark the same measurements on my breast point. Then I'll move to my waistline and mark out my waist measurement divided by 4. And also on my full length line, I'll mark out my hip measurements divided by 4. So when I'm done marking everything out, I'll use my ruler to connect all the points that I've marked out together. Then I'll add 1 inch to my chest line, my breast point, my waistline, and my full length that will serve as my stitches allowance. I will then connect the points together, and after that I'll go ahead and cut it out, and basically that will serve as my front piece. So guys, for the back piece, I've already placed my front piece on another piece of brown paper. I already leave 1.5 inches for zipper allowance, and for the depth of my neck I will go down by 2 inches, and I'll be making use of 3 inches for the wideness of my neck. So guys, for my top to sit down very well at the back, I'm going to be marking out 0.75 inches, and I'm going to be ruling a straight line on it. I'll be marking out 0.75 inches on the waistline, and I'll be ruling a straight line all the way up and to the length of my top, and I'm going to be eliminating this area that you see me touch all to the way up, so as for my top to sit conveniently at the back. So guys, I'll be removing my front piece or my back piece, and I'll mark out all the measurement that I have on my front piece, also on the back piece. So this is the front piece, and this is also the back piece. So guys, as you can see, my darts on the chest line on the front piece is longer than the one on the back piece. So now I'll be marking out the areas that needed to be cut out, and when I'm done marking it out, I'll go ahead and cut it out. So right now I've cut out every piece, and I'll go ahead and label them. So this is my center front, and this is my side front, and also I'll go ahead and label my center back and my side back. So now guys, the next thing I'm doing now is to cut out this piece on my actual fabrics and the lining. I already cut them out here, as you can see, and I left like 1/2 inch for stitches allowance on the sides of my actual fabrics. So these are the linings that have been cut out already alongside with the actual fabrics. So now I'll pick my center front like this, as you can see. Then I will also take my side front and use my pin to pin it all the way down together. So don't forget, I place my fabrics right side facing each other while pinning it down. So after I'm done with one side, I moved to the other side to pin it all the way down using my pin. So right now guys, I'll head over to my sewing machine and stitch both sides down. This is what I have after I've used my sewing machine to stitch it down. So the next thing I'll be doing now is to place my lining on it, and I'll be using my lining to turn it. I already joined the piece of my lining together as I joined my fabrics behind camera. So now I'll be placing my lining on my fabrics, and I'll be using my lining to turn the actual fabric. So I will go ahead and stitch the neckline like this. I will stitch this place, I will stitch this place also, and I will stitch both sides of my fabrics. I will stitch everything all the way around except this particular place. I will make sure I do not use my sewing machine to stitch it down. I'll remain like an inch or 2 inches so that I'll be able to flip it to the right side. So guys, I've used my lining to turn the front piece, and I've also gone ahead to iron it with my iron. So that is why it is looking so neat. So I've gone ahead to do the back piece also like the way I did the front piece, and this is the final outcome. This is how it's looking like now. So after that guys, I'll go ahead and attach my zip to the back piece. So when I'm done attaching my zipper, I will head over to my sewing machine and stitch both sides with the 1 inch that I left earlier on as my stitches allowance. So guys, this is what my bustier top is looking like after I've attached the zipper and I've gone ahead to stitch both sides. This is how it came out, so clean and neat. If you watch this video to this very place, thank you guys so much. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and please don't forget to drop a comment. Don't forget to let me know in the comment section if you'll be trying this, and don't forget to turn on your post notification to get notifications anytime I post new videos. So now guys, our bustier top is ready. So this was me trying it out after stitching. Thank you guys for watching. See you in my next tutorial. Bye.